Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode.
Hello.
Amanda, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about me watching the TV series Apple Cider Vinegar, which is about a person who faked a glioblastoma diagnosis.
So this is a new series on Netflix, right?
Yes.
And it spoke to you because one of the things that you have struggled with or have had challenges with through this journey is navigating that line of what is really sound advice that you're getting from people and well-intentioned advice, and what is just almost seems like it's distracting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So talk about that. Just give people a little context. The movie, this lady fakes having glioblastoma and then fakes that she naturally cured herself from it.
So I actually talked to quite a few people in the glioblastoma world, of which it was almost unanimous people were not going to watch it. I was just curious, I'm at home. I don't have a lot to do, so I just thought let's see how this show plays out. And it does follow a journey of this one girl who fakes a glioblastoma diagnosis. Another girl who, I don't remember what kind of cancer she had. She chose the alternative route where she didn't want to do surgery, and she didn't want to amputate her arm. That's what it was. And then even though amputating her arm would have led to a survival rate of
Almost 90%.
Yeah. And then there was another girl who had breast cancer. I found it quite interesting because when I was first diagnosed with glioblastoma, I immediately I didn't Google all the scary statistics, but it was more like, what can I do for myself, and then what can I do with the whole East versus West medicine. And I found it quite interesting because I do feel like people are very desperate when you're in this kind of situation.
Let's talk, instead of talking about the show, let's talk about what went into your decision-making process for why you chose the treatment routes you did. Because I agree, I think a lot of people, when you get a diagnosis like this, it is terrifying, it is scary, and you are desperate to try to find a solution. It can be really easy to then go online and find somebody who says, oh, just take this pill, or just do this and you'll be fine.
Or here's my protocol.
And it's not to say that those things, again, no two cancer journeys are the same. What I think would be really helpful is maybe you share how you made your decision, why you made the decisions you made, and then we can expand on that a little bit.
So having brain cancer, I was always going to do surgery. So surgery, absolutely. That was a no-brainer. And then...
That was a good pun. Look at you.
So surgery for sure. I felt it was appropriate to do chemotherapy and radiation.
Why did you, I guess the thing I'm saying is, why did you make those choices? What was it about going standard of care that you ultimately made that decision?
It was the right decision for me. It felt right. It felt natural. I felt like I was in just these really competent hands, and I feel like they listened. I felt like they were giving their own advice, based on what they would do if they were given a glioblastoma diagnosis. So I just felt I was with the right hands, and I also felt I didn't feel pressure. Also, I did not feel pressure to do any of the things. They were just like, this is what we can offer, and if you need another opinion, we're happy to do that.
And that felt right for you, right? It felt aligned for you.
Yeah, because even with my surgeon, he wasn't like, you have to come to me. He's just like, this is how many surgeries I've done, and I have a great team, and, you know, good luck on your search.
And then additionally, so one of the things we've talked about is you making decisions from that place of knowingness. There was this clear knowingness that Amanda kind of, almost this meditative state that she found herself in after being diagnosed. You knew you wanted to do the best of what Western medicine had to offer. You embraced that. You were excited about that because of the things you just said about just feeling like you were in just such caring, competent hands. And then also really exploring non-traditional too as supportive. So ketogenic diet, exercise, movement,
Hydration.
You've talked about red light therapy, which I think you said you're going to start doing today, right? Don't have this be one of these things, great advice and not doing it.
And then I bought a kind of like a smaller, like not an indoor sauna, but what would you call that?
Yeah, we'll keep that on off because you're not doing anything with it yet. It's just collecting dust. So let's not talk about what people should.
Until after treatment. I always said I was going to do it after treatment.
We've heard about that. So how do you? I think a question that might be helpful for people. How do you filter? How do you know to filter out the noise? Like, how do you know to distinguish what is noise for you versus what is really going to feel the best course of route for you to pursue or explore for your own support?
I think I read a lot of books almost initially. Like I did a lot of more like reading books and doing like PubMed. So a lot of my stuff was coming from that source. And then all of a sudden it became like Instagram and Facebook. And I felt when I was reading, it was very like unbiased. Like you can kind of like take or leave the advice. But then once I got an Instagram or Facebook, it's like, do this thing. You have to, like, that was like kind of like, oh, and it felt just so like a transaction, and it felt icky. And I mean, there were like a few things that I almost bought, and I was thinking like, wait, why am I doing this? This is more like a fearful tactic to me than anything. So
That's a really good. I think that's a really good qualifier, right? Is it really sound, caring advice, or is there a bias to it? You have to do this.
Yeah.
The fear versus love. You've been very clear from day one. This is a loving journey for you, not for a fearful journey. So if you were to take actions out of fear, there's a misalignment. And I think the problem with many of these kind of biased suggestions that you've mentioned are people might grab onto them in such a space of desperation that we all want the magic pill, right? If we could just take a pill to lose weight, if we could just take a pill to make a bunch of money, the easiest route possible, we're going to do it. I think that you have done a remarkable job of really leaning into your knowingness and continue to make choices that are aligned with love and filter out some of the noise with it too. All right. Anything else for this one?
This is going to be a really hard one to edit.
I know. I have some work to do, which is why we have to get this done. All right, everybody. We love and appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Be sure to check out the It's Your Time to Shine Facebook group. We really hope that's a loving, supportive place for anybody dealing with a difficult diagnosis. And we will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.